Thank you very much, Philip, for this time. This is the Abuja Network Center. And like I said earlier on, we're going to be taking a look at the labor unions, their struggles so far. Since last year, when the president, during his inaugural speech, made the statement that fuel subsidy is gone, everything took a different turn. Nigerians begin to find themselves in situations where they have never really thought they will find themselves before. The prices of goods and services skyrocketed, and this is what we are still battling with. The labor unions since then have been on the neck of the federal government to alleviate the sufferings of Nigerians. Top on their list is the increase of the minimum wage. We all know that the minimum wage has been 30,000 naira, and the labor unions is asking for more. As of last week, they were at the negotiation table where the government proposed a minimum wage of 48,000 naira. NLC got angry and walked out of the negotiation and insist that this is what they want. They want higher than that. And also there has been an ultimatum that the labor unions also give the federal government until 31st of May to do the needful, or else we know what's going to happen. So to discuss these issues, we're going to be taking a look at this protest and the response of government so far. I have Hamza Muhammad, who is the President, Nigerian Union of Mines Workers. You're welcome, sir. Good to have you once again.
Thank you so much.
So let's take a look at this the labor unions protest since last year. You know, it started, the negotiation started from June, that is after the subsidy is gone statement, and things started happening up to this time. What is your assessment so far? Has there been any positive result?
Actually, since this struggle started, the response of the government is nothing to take from, because when government come, the first thing that they have to prioritize is the issue of at least the less privileged. This means the workers who are working, because without those workers there is no government. Without the people who are going to work, there is no government. So every serious government must look at the welfare of the workers, especially the junior workers. Those ones that they are earning is based on their salaries. They don't have any overhead, no any. Then if you look at the salary, it is the salary of the workers. Even the boy of some this can spend it in a week. Then after the removal of the fuel subsidy, people are battling with their, even some people, they cannot even go to work. Some workers, when they get to work, they used to sleep there. They used to find a place where they on their own, some they are even organizing shifting. They cannot come and see their families. Like they don't know all what the workers are passing through. People cannot eat. People cannot pay their children cannot go to school. They cannot take a 3 square meal in a day. Then what do we want?
Now, Labour is asking for more. If I am correct, Labour is asking for over 600,000.
615,000.
615,000
Yes.
naira precisely.
Yes.
And the government is offering for now 48,000 naira. Though the negotiation is going to continue today. Hopefully something tangible is going to come out of this negotiation.
Yes.
If you put this and the fact that government is always complaining of low revenue generation, don't you think that government is trying at this point?
When you look at the salary that government are proposing, even the renewal of the minimum salary is even overdue. Many countries, every 4 years, that minimum salary will be reviewed without even the intervention of even the union. You just see it. And then even some countries that have already even implemented that if there is an increase, or if there is increase in items, the salary will increase automatically. But in Nigeria, it's not like that. But when it comes to the negotiation, you see the government are not sincere to the people. How do we be giving people 48,000? How much is 48,000? What are you going to buy with 48,000? It is drinking water.
Even sachet water is 500, 400 naira.
400 naira
a bag now.
Then if you must eat, you have to go to hospital. How much is your hospital bill, and will your children in a month? How much are you going to pay for the light in the month? How much are you going to pay for transport to go to work and come back? When you look, the NLC have optimized everything, has put it black and white. Our request. Then government have to take that request. Okay, now this is what we can pay. This is what we can pay. Then from there you can see the salary at least will be something reasonable. But without it is not that we are just asking for the money. No. We have an area we have optimized. This is what is supposed to be for the transport. And is that not true? Let's deliberate on that. Let the deliberation go on that. This should be the salary. This for your rent. Then from there you come for a conclusion. But when government say 48,000 for what? For the entire salary of the worker in a month? Are you taking that one for a transport, or you are taking that one for the hospital bills, or you need that
for your rent,
for rent, or for what? So that's why when Labour look at that, the government are not serious completely. That's why our representative even they feel bad. They are being forced to walk out of the it's not their way to walk out of the meeting, because the government are not sincere, and then they are not coming up with the proper presentation to the Labour. It means that they are not even ready.
When you talk about sincerity, you talked about government not being sincere in its negotiations. Okay, let's look at the labor union itself. We had a time in this country whereby when labor calls, the entire country will stand at a standstill.
Yes.
Those were the years that when labor called for protest, it will be a total shutdown. Both the public and the private sector, everybody will rally around. But you will agree with me that this enthusiasm by Nigerians to join labor unions in their protest has waned over the years. Could it be a broken trust between the workers and the labor unions?
There is no broken trust between the workers and the labor union. Let me tell you, if today labor call for a total shutdown, the country will be down. But you have to know where everyone is, and then we need the progress of this country. And then whenever labor call for the total shutdown, many people, they are even calling our president that can shut the economy. It means that all the time it's our will to make sure that the economy of Nigeria, and which is not like that. And at times,
but you're also aware that even when labor call for protest, there are people who deliberately do not go. I'm sure you must have heard.
I know. Even there are some certain things that happened even during President Muhammad Buhari, when the fuel price was increased, when we are in the street protesting, and then some people, they are even encountering us that we should allow the government, because people feel that the government are going to do the needful, but the government has failed. The government has failed. Let me tell you now, people are even ready. They are even agitating, calling us that what are we waiting for? But at times we have to look the both sides.
Exactly.
It's not just the protest, but after the protest, what will be the outcome of the protest?
Exactly.
We are looking at it. We are looking at the security of the country. When you look before, we don't have the insecurity. We don't have many challenges. But now, when you go, many people, they want to use our advantage. So whenever we are in the protest, we are not just going for the protest. We must look inward, look at what is going to happen. Then after we have to digest before we take every step in the labor movement. Because at least, alhamdulillah, we have a very decent people that have worked in many minutes, people that have gone outside, they have seen the advantage and disadvantage of the because peace, it is something that at all time you must make sure that you maintain it. Because whenever the peace that you enjoy is out of hand, for you to get that control. But the government, they are not even looking in that way. They are looking that at all the time they can manipulate even the labor. Because when we are on protest, many times government will agree and call the labor for negotiation, and labor will accept. And then when we accept that we are going to take a negotiation with the government, in terms of negotiation, the government will fail. Then people will look at it that even the labor has betrayed the people. That's what even
yes,
people
that's
they are
the feeling
looking.
that
Yes.
many Nigerians have, that each time labor goes to sits on a negotiating table with the government, that labor ends up throwing Nigerians under the bus.
After calling off the strike, then what people are expecting, they will not come out because at all the time the government are always dribbling. They're always dribbling. Or sometimes even the people that they will present to our labor negotiation table, they will not present the people that they can take the proper resolution. Then if you send the people that they cannot represent the government fully, what are you doing?
Okay, the labor gave the government 15 items. That is during the second sit down. The first one they had 7, thereabout, and during the second sit down they had 15.
Yes.
Now they had the increase of the minimum wage, revitalization of critical sector, education and health, and the inclusion of low-income earners in this social investment program, where government transfer money to the poorest of the poor, as they say. Labor wants the low-income earners to be included.
Yes.
For you, who is a labor union person, don't you think that this is too much? That the items, the demands for a period of time. One would have thought that, okay, let's pursue maybe 3 items out of this and to a logical conclusion before we table others.
Hey, you see, if we have so much problem, you have to present it. Then government, they have to look at it critically and then look at the important ones that they will be for the benefit of the people.
Is it government at this point that will look at the most important ones? What would have thought that labor would have said, okay, this should be priority, let's pursue this?
I think we are at the table of negotiation, and then if I have 15, if I have a 15 items, and then maybe even if it is 20 items that I have, that these are our issues, it is my duty to present it to you. If you can deal with it all, well, we'll be very happy, because it's for the interest of the workers.
But you and I know that it's not possible.
Then if you cannot treat them all, if at least I have a 10, this means that I have a reasonable number. I know that yes, you are considering the well-being of the people. But if I came with 15 items, then you are looking at the 2 or 3. It means that you are not serious. Because what we are always praying is to have a serious government that have a concern about the vulnerable people. So labor, it is our duty to make sure that we have present a reasonable our complaint to the government, and it is a duty of the government to look at them critically and then deal with it. So this is our prayer.
Okay, what do you think has been the reason behind government's non-compliance to labor's demands? Because this is not the first time. Like I said earlier on, it's something that goes on year in, year out. If it is not NLC, TUC, is ASU, is JOSUN, is health workers, why?
So if we look at, you see, this question is very critical question. This question has to go to the government. Why at all the time they don't want, because the rightful government, they have to be listening to the complaint of their people. This is a government, because government is government of the people, for the people, by the people. So if it is government of the people, at all the time they have to listen to the complaint of the people. Our own duty is to make sure that we have protect the interests of our workers, and we present our demand to the government. And it is a duty of the government to make sure that they have concern about their people. And if government doesn't have that concern, because some of them maybe they didn't even won their election. They are there by chance. But if it is a reasonable person that has been brought from the same people, and then you are there to represent the people, you have whatever you have to do. You have to do it for the interest of the masses. You have to do it for the interest of the people, not for your own interest. Because people may spend even their own personal money for the people to enjoy, because they have concern about the people.
In all of this, I want you to assess the efforts of the National Assembly, because the National Assembly serves as a check to the executive.
Yes.
The National Assembly is supposed to be like a watchdog,
Yes,
to the executive, because it is the representative of the people.
yes.
As in the National Assembly, it is assumed that the entirety of Nigerians are in the National Assembly because they are being represented by them. Now, I wanted to assess their efforts in all of this. Bearing in mind that last week there was a report by the Committee of Power presented on the floor of the Senate over the hike in electricity tariff. And at some point, the Senate suspended debate, and by extension the report was not considered and it wasn't passed. In the light of this, what is your assessment of the National Assembly's efforts when it comes to labor issues?
So when you look at the National Assembly, at times they will present a motion that is beneficial to the people, but to pass it into law is another issue completely. Then at times when you look at the National Assembly, they will be even blind. They have even forgot where they came from. What they are thinking is thinking of themselves, that they are entitled to ride a car of 200 million. They have forgotten their consensus. They have forgotten they have been voted for the people to come here and defend their own interests. So the National Assembly has to, in this country we need a total restructuring in terms of the National Assembly. Because when they look to the National Assembly, they are not living to the expectation of the entire Nigerian, or to entire Nigerian workers. When you look some countries today, you see that they have even cut the salaries and overhead and some honestly expenditure of their National Assembly, and they have increased the salary of their workers, some to 30, some to 50%. But when you look at now, our workers were there deliberating how these people are getting at least some reasonable salaries. But the National Assembly, they are alpha and omega. When they come, they can decide what belongs to them, and then they can take what belongs to them after pardon and everything. Only God knows what they are earning. Because today, even if you say their salary is 31 million or 20 million or whatever it is, but what they are getting is even more than that. But how, if you are getting more than, why are you not considering somebody that from his own salary, until when he receives his own salary, before he receives even that salary, he has even spent that money by collecting food items, water, medicine. Some, because let me tell you, some salary earners, when they collected their salary, they before even they get home, they have spent that money.
It's no longer a take-home pay.
They have spent it completely. They will only go and start a new life by, maybe I have paid this debt, please try and continue. Then why will you cage your people in this kind of a life? And then you are getting more than what you're supposed to be, more than even expectation. You are getting what you cannot even spend.
There's also a school of thoughts that says that Nigeria, at this point, increase in minimum wage is not what Nigerians need, but the revitalization of critical infrastructure, like good road network, affordable and accessible health care, and interrupted power supply. So which do you go for?
So yes, if you look, if today the salary is enough, you can say that one is not a problem. But that's why we told you, that's why the labor present almost 15 items, because the things is too much. No salary. If today you say that you don't have to look for the salary, you have to go for the infrastructure, people cannot work because what they are getting is not enough for them. Because the salary, the increase of the salary is overdue. This minimum salary, it has to be maybe even 10 years back. We have to be more than this particular the minimum salary that you are saying. That's why now we are looking, at least let's have a minimum living wage.
The president did promise a living wage. He promised that.
Yes, because the president, this based on his promise. He promised a living wage, because minimum wage is nothing to take home. But living wage, at least you will have something to that you can even reserve it. Maybe when you retire, before even you receive your retirement benefit, it can start a new life. Or even if you are still in the government, you can even farm. Because let me tell you, some workers, they cannot even go to farm, even if they have a farm, because they cannot buy a cattle fat. Because every month they are not after their one kobo is they don't have any reserve. If you don't have a reserve, you will not even have money to even buy a hoe that you can go to farm. So all those things, it is a critical sector that you have to look at them all. You cannot leave, say that because no government has to go for infrastructure. If it is a light, if it is, you must look at it. Then you can do everything based on. You can give everything its own stand. If it's salary, increase the salary, light, improve the power, road, construct the road. People, because people they are in the need of, because road network is very important, especially in the economy. Because when you build a road, people that farm, let me tell you, if today the road has been extended to some certain places, people will not care for them to even leave the rural area and come into the town.
Exactly.
Why? Because the road has been extended to them. Their life would be
better,
meaningful, better. Then if they have a life, then what will force you to leave a village and come to the city? If government has extend those things to the, so all those things, they are very important for government to do it. But salary is necessary.
Okay, now that your representatives are going back to the negotiating table today, what do you expect from this negotiation?
Yes, our expectation, you know, we are ready at all the time. We are ready.
Ready for what?
We are ready if government propose a reasonable amount to the workers.
Okay, let's see if government is able to say, okay, we can't pay 615,000 naira, but we can give 300,000 naira. Would that suffice?
It's something reasonable. It's something reasonable that at least we can still call Central Working Committee. Okay, this is what government passed, and then I know it by God it will be accepted. But by government to 48,000, look, it's
okay. What if government insists on the 48,000 that this is what we have to bring to the table?
Because we know it's not true. Government cannot say this is what they have. Let me among the.
How can you say it's not true? The government is complaining of paucity of funds. You hear ministries, departments, and agencies talking about not having money to run their day-to-day activities.
But the billions that have been siphoned, where those money is coming from?
That. So how can you say government is not saying the truth?
Let me tell you, those billions that have been siphoned at all the time, where this money is coming from? The billions and billions and trillions of naira that has been siphoned in many ministries, where those money is coming from? And then there is no money to pay for the reasonably decent person who at all the time his aims is for the progress of the country. Are we, is there, government, are they realistic? Yes, when there is no money to pay for the junior workers, but there is money to steal.
Because you keep hearing of recovery of funds.
Yeah, recovery of funds.
People being dragged for financial misappropriation, for embezzlement.
Misappropriation.
So that means there's money somewhere.
It's very unfortunate. If those money are there, and then those ministries, they are not be able to even establish a project that will be for the benefit of the people, but they can establish a siphon that they can take that money to honor.
It's not illegal. When you say establish a siphon, you make it look as if there's a department in every ministry that has that there's a siphoning department.
No, but
it's not a legal activity.
But if you look at it, if you look at it, how comes that they will do it and succeed in doing it, and then it is illegal? They want to siphon 100 billions, but they will succeed in, if then, I mean, anyone that has not been detected, this means that they are doing it legally. Because if they are not doing it legally, how comes that this is what you want to see? Then you will succeed in doing it. It is in the process that I don't know it will be coming even to negotiation table that, okay, reform. We are not serious. We have to be serious to make sure that, yes, whatever is belong to you is belong to you. What belongs to Nigeria is have to belong to Nigeria. Nigerians deserve a good pay.
I'll ask this question though. Is there a time, are we really going to see a time when there will be a cordial, okay, there's a cordial relationship between the organized unions and labor and government. That one, there's no doubt about it. But are we going to come to a time where we will not witness protest because government is not doing what government is supposed to do? Are we going to get to that period? Do you see us coming to that time where we see Nigeria has for 1 year without protest?
It depends on the leadership. If today we have a leader that he can even look, okay, no, this field is what they deserve, no need of protest. If despite the leader has concern about the progress and development of his country, at sometimes we'll just go on celebrating, because the protest, this is the last option. After you have sent your request, you have pleaded to the government, you have even mentioned the issue and then the problem that people are facing that you want the government to do, the process, the protest, that's the last option. That's the last thing for the union, for that they are taking a time for government to understand that these people are having problems, and they want government to look at this issue. But let me give you some instance. Like in America, when the Biden came, he looked and said he was even requesting the labor to present their demand, because he's ready to look at their demand, because he feels that this worker deserve. Then after, and then they do it. Then if you have this kind of a leadership, then what are you going for the protest?
Well, I'll take that as a last word, Comrade Hamza.
Thank you so much.
Good having you here to discuss labor issues.
Thank
labor
you so
issues
much.
For me, I would say they are unending.
Yeah.
I have witnessed labor demonstration, protests since I was a kid, and I know that we'll continue to see that, like you rightly said, with the right leadership. When government
we pray that God, we pray God will give us a good leadership
and come to the table with something substantial.
Yes.
Labor will go to bed and sleep and tell Nigerians all is
well.
But hopefully, that this, we sincerely hope that today's negotiation is going to come out well. Thank you very much for always taking your time to come for the program, and also sharing your wealth of experience with Nigerians.
Thank you for having me.
So we've been discussing labor issues. We are counting days to May 29. That was the day President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn into office, and it was that same day that he made the declaration that fuel subsidy is gone. And since then, Nigerians are really feeling it that fuel subsidy is gone, because prices of goods and services have skyrocketed, and Labour is always tackling government that for this, Nigerians must get what is due them. Labour is asking for 615,000 naira for Nigerians as a living wage, while the government is saying we have 48,000 naira. They are back at the negotiating table today. Hopefully, something good and tangible will come out, and at the end of the day, Nigerians will have a reason to smile.